Hi there, Zhouk here from A Pocket Full of Happiness, and in this video I'm going to show you some projects with the new retro alarm clock die set. This is a large die set, and I've already die cut everything, and I will just show you how all the pieces come together. Now the clock face is gonna fall apart because I like when I can add different colors, but I don't want to make separate dies for it because then it's gonna be even more expensive. So what I do here is I keep together all the pieces with a piece of press and seal, and then as you could see, I had a piece of cardstock that I glued to the back of it. This actually will give it more stability, and so if I want to use foam tape, then this is going to be more sturdy, and it's very easy to fussy cut it out because it's really just a circle. And then I'm going to layer on top of this the colorful pieces. And some of these die cuts are several layers of paper, mostly because I had extra pieces, because I only want to use one color from a die cut, and of course in case of circles I am wasting some paper because I cannot just, technically I could, I guess, die cut just one of those circles, but I would still have some circle scrap paper left, so that is too complicated, I think. So anyway, I always have extra pieces, so I just layer them up so that I don't waste paper, and then I get more dimension as well. So I again am using this Glad press and seal here. Now that I finally remember the name of it, I actually use it all the time. Sorry. Okay, so I already pieced those together, so I knew that I want to use black numbers and then a certain clock face. To be honest, I don't like to do this. I like to place every single piece down separately because I never managed to line it up properly, which I didn't here either. I don't know if it's visible, but somehow it just didn't fit so well, the big circle into the bigger circle. So I did not bother with the tiny inner pieces of the 9 and 6, so they are just all glued down together. But if you want to leave that out, of course you can just add pattern paper in those middle pieces. Now the other thing I don't like about this is what I was trying to show you, but I don't know if you can see it. The paper is thin, and when I added the liquid glue, you can, and then I glued it down, you can see all the lines of the glue. I don't like that so much. Anyway, this I found it so fun to be able to choose papers for this one, because I do have a bunch of scrapbook papers that are kind of this retro vibe. They have a lot of mustard, and I particularly like these patterns. I always like any gingham pattern, gingham, plaid, all kinds of patterns like that. And then the clock itself is actually quite simple. It doesn't have many pieces, just the way I mean, actually, I wouldn't want to say just the way I like it, because I also like the ones that have a ton of pieces, but this is quicker for sure. I am using the T-ruler because I'm actually quite good with eyeballing things, but this just did not it did not work. So I used the T-ruler to make sure that they are kind of at the same angle and kind of at the same height. Then we have a butterfly in this set that has like a solid layer, and then it has one where all the pieces are cut apart, and that way you can add like a bunch of colors. So I just wanted to show you how that's put together. And then these papers are thin, so putting the body in the middle is it's gonna work just fine. Then I will bend up the wings a little bit so that it's more organic. And here we have the flowers from the set. As you can see, I already added the white cardstock to all of these pieces, so they are thicker. And then you can add the second color to your leaves, so that the stem and the leaves are, let's say, different greens, just to add some interest and a little bit more detail. And you can do that for the flower and also with this other plant next to my right hand. All the leaves have a different shape, so it's easy to match them up. And then you can see they also have a little faux stitching in the middle, so I'm trying to shape them a little bit. It's hard and it's not very pretty because of the thickness of the whole thing. If I had left it just the pattern paper, it would have looked nice, but then it wouldn't have been so sturdy, I think. And you can see that I'm only adding the glue to one side of the leaf so that it looks a little bit more dimensional. What else can I use instead of that word? Even I'm bored of it. Sorry. So I'm trying to clean up some of the edges, and then this one is the foliage is also done. And then I have a very simple flower which just has like a large middle, and as you can see I use some floral paper for that has like tiny flowers. It's so cute. So these are the extra pieces, and these I'm just going to add as decoration around my clock. Okay, so the way I go about my projects is I die cut everything for all projects, and by the time I get to do the project I forget what I wanted to do. So I kind of have like a rough plan, and I did not remember what I wanted to do with these sentiments, what color I want. Why did I choose black? I don't know. I did not remember, so I'm now recoloring them. So what you see here is this is exactly how I go about all my sentiments. This is the base I always prepare. So in fact I'm also adding an extra layer so that it's even more sturdy. And normally now I would add just the letters so that they stand out. That is the way I prepare all my sentiments. Now in this case I am just recoloring. So this one is actually going to be like an inlaid design, so completely flush with the surface. The letters won't pop. And what I wanted to say earlier, oh yeah, I also prepared some just the letters from black cardstock, and they are layered, so there's like 3 or 4 layers to them, and they are already glued together. So I did have plans to use them, I just did not remember in what way. So but this is the best about this, that you can just totally recolor. If you don't like the colors that you chose, you can just recolor. It's a bit of extra time, of course, but it doesn't take much, and you have then the right color for your sentiments. So these are again prepared the same way. For example, I don't know what I was thinking with that color it's like I think it's called Barely There or Barely Peach or something, and it just did not fit with any of my my cards. I don't know what I was thinking. It's you know, this I actually find really hard to match cardstock with pattern paper. Pattern paper can have muted vintage kind of colors, but cardstock is always, to me, it's brighter, bolder. Somehow they never match. So I prefer to do everything from pattern paper, as much as possible, which is why I think I had to recolor these sentiments as well. I guess I forgot to mention that these sentiments are part of the die set. So there's one that says Wakey Wakey, and the other one says It's Your Day, I hope. And I wanted to make it so that you can use them separately. In particular, It's Your Day because you can use that for you know, any birthday projects or whatever, just on its own. It doesn't have to be clock related. So next up, I like to cut a panel from color cardstock that is just a little smaller than the 5x7 card base. So normally I do 4.75 by 6.75, I think, or something like that. And then I never managed to center it properly. But you can always adjust that. You can cut off a little bit if one side is a little bigger. And then I like to also center the design or the pattern on the background as much as I can. So you can see here, I mean, I have to waste a little bit of paper then, of course, because it's possible that it's not going to be centered. But I do have some options because it's a 6x8 cardstock, so a little bit of room I have there to play with. And now I'm just going to try to figure out what I like. I did not actually want to cover up that bell. What is it called? Bell? I don't even know what it's called in my own language. Okay, well, you know what I mean. I did not want to cover it up because I love that pattern paper, but somehow I had to put that butterfly somewhere, and that seemed to be the best spot for it. So I also glued down my sentiment, and now I go ahead with the clock, and I try to leave a little bit of space on the sides so that I can tuck things under it. But also if you can't, then you just cut off a piece, and you will see soon, I think, if I remember correctly, how to mess it up. Normally I don't, you know, I don't use a pencil to like this one. It's gonna be this one. The flower. I don't use a pencil to mark what shape it should be. And you see, I totally messed it up. I just cut it in whatever shape, and then now I have no idea how to use it. So yeah, that did not work. Maybe it's better to have a plan. I just always kind of wing everything. I don't know, I keep saying that I'm not a patient person because I really am not. But when it comes to detailed projects like this, I guess I'm patient, but with just things like measurements for So I'm just going to go to the other side, I think, because it's gonna fit there. Yeah, I only planned to put the flowers and everything at the top, but I also didn't want to waste, especially the cute floral paper that I didn't have much of in the middle. But you see, I had to take it apart because it didn't fit under, and you see I still have to cut out the middle so that it can be tucked under that clock, and this as well. So yeah, learn from my mistake, not your own. Okay, so other than that, I guess that card is pretty much ready. I wanted to, oh yeah, because I have some gaps. I will also want to add some enamel dots. You see, I'm still trying with that flower, but I mean, it would be nice if it worked, but let's see. I also cut apart that branch because it just did not fit the way I wanted it to. This side, which I cut off or trimmed off, was too far down. It was not visible. So I mean, everything that you tuck behind and other objects, of course, you can totally reshape, and it's gonna give you different looks all the time. So because I messed up that flower, I'm missing things on that right side of the butterfly, and then I came to the idea that I should add some enamel dots to fill those gaps maybe, and also just to add maybe another color. I have this new blue one. I think it's something with denim. It's from Simple and Basic. This is not my brand, but I keep these in stock because I love them. And now there were a few new colors, so I wanted to use it, and it's perfect with my blue flower. So as you see, I'm just filling up that right side there a little bit. I don't know, it just felt a bit out of balance. And then this one is also new. This is a matte white, like mini dots. Oh, actually, it might be already sold out because I myself stole like 3. So I use these quite a lot, and there's quite a few like really little small ones which are great. Yeah, so I mixed in a few white ones as well, but this always takes a bit too long figuring out where to put the enamel dots. Okay, so this card is practically done. Just a few little adjustments, and then I'm moving on to the next one, which I also prepared the same way. Background wise, it's just different colors, and the only thing that I was trying to show there is that I added some layers to that circle, so it stands out, basically the frame around the clock face. And you can always play with any of these to add interest. Then I kind of have more flowers here than on the previous one because I had some left. Again, this was one of those cases where I die cut too many things, but I did not want to waste them. So I'm trying to figure out how to make the most of it, you know. And then I had this die cut Wakey Wakey from pattern paper, which I did not want to use, but then I realized that I have the black letters that I was planning to use, and then I think I'm just going to glue these on top of those so that they are dimensional, and then I use both of them. Now, still trying to figure out what to place where. And by the way, don't pay attention to the oh my god, the arms, right? They are called arms, I hope. The clock arms, don't pay attention because I actually did not pay attention myself when I put them together. I just glued them together and then placed them at whatever time. But if you have, like, if you know what time your friend or whoever family member was born, then you could set the time at that time. I don't even know what time I was born. My mother doesn't remember, so she just thinks that I was born after lunch. But you know, I know exactly what time my son was born. You know, I was not important. Okay, I'm just kidding. Um, so again, here I am trying to rethink how um, the arrangement of those leaves should be, because if I tuck it under completely, then two of those leaves were not visible. You see, the third one already barely sticks out, and then it looks like there's a huge gap there. So I'm just trying to fill that up. So it's actually nice if you know, if you tuck things behind something, then it doesn't matter what the original die cut looked like. So again, you get a bit more for your buck, I guess. So continuing to glue everything down, and then I will add the clock once I'm ready with that. And some of it I want to put onto the clock, some behind it. That little paper that I mentioned earlier with the little flowers that I used for the centers of some of these flowers, you can see one of them is red, the other one is blue, and then I also used it for one of those flowers at the top. Those on the pattern paper were the strips of color, so I could only die cut some tiny pieces from it, like exactly like the center or that flower. So I just wanted to make sure, or you know, make use of it, because they were such nice colors. I think there was this reddish blue, then like a muted rainbow type thing, but I didn't have a use for the green one, and I'm not sure if I used the yellow one. But sometimes, you know, it's so nice when you have a pattern paper that has a lot of different sections, and then you can just use it for smaller die cuts. Okay, so I had to cut off, as you can see, that flower, I had to cut off a piece of it, but as you can see, I learned from my mistake and made sure that it actually fits under my clock. So now I'm going to attach that, and then come the other little shapes that come onto the top. So I'm adding that foam tape there because, like I said earlier, that frame piece is it stands out quite a bit, because I think it was like three paper cuts, or sorry, die cuts, and so it was quite dimensional. But I needed some more glue there to keep that flower a bit more sturdy. And again, the butterfly is gonna be put in the same kind of position. And now I'm adding both sentiment die cuts, but then for one of them I'm going to just use the outline. And here it came in handy that I could use the outline as a template. I guess I did not show that I glued the pattern paper onto the black letters that I showed earlier, but I must have done it, because that's definitely like stands out. It's not just one layer, although now I cannot see anything because I have some pop-up window in the middle of my screen, but it's definitely not one layer. I'd never do that, I don't think. And I'm coming in with more enamel dots again, and then on the third card is going to be the most simple one. I'm not going to use any flowers here. Now I had these two papers that I loved both, but one was just too busy, the one at the bottom. So in this case, I try to always like create a divided panel in the background, and then it's not all that busy. And also I like to add the color strip in the middle to accentuate that, or like for a pop of color. And there was this paper with rows of hearts, and I just cut one piece of like one row of hearts. So this was simple, and then I realized the little one of the little enamel dots is about the same size, so I added that to the middle of the clock just for some extra something. And then here you go, you see the letters, the wakey wakey letters, you see that there's a black layer and then white, so those are certainly dimensional. Well, I hope you like these projects. I hope you give them a try, or I hope you give pattern paper a try, and I would please tag me in any projects. And yeah, I'd like to see what you come up with. Thank you very much for your patience with my videos, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.